background. This is also being recorded, guys, so keep that in mind.
We're live for YouTube.
Good morning. This is call number 2020-27428 in the interest of Zanea Wilson. All parties, please raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, ma'am. Please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Dominique Wilson and Zanea Wilson is my daughter.
Sir, your name and your relationship to the child.
Michael Walker, father.
All right, and for the state.
Good morning, Your Honor. Angela Jeffries for the Office of the Attorney General.
All right, we've got a petition to establish the parent-child relationship. We're having a hearing. Do we have any stipulations?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
All right, let's read them into the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. The parties have stipulated that the child's last name will be hyphenated to state Zanea Wilson -Walker. Parties have also stipulated that the child support in this amount, in this case, shall be $152 beginning May 1st of 2021. That the medical support shall be $19 beginning May 1st of 2021. Parties have also stipulated to joint managing conservatorship. Parties have also stipulated to a retroactive judgment of $5,236 that shall be payable at $76 per month beginning May 1st, 2021. And lastly, that any court costs associated with this case will be billed against Mr. Michael Walker, and that will be payable by June 20th of 2021, Your Honor.
Okay, and the issues then will be?
Visitation, Your Honor, and the geographical restriction.
All right, let's proceed.
Thank you. The state calls Dominique Lanice Wilson. Ms. Wilson, you are the mother of Zanea Wilson. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And how old is Zanea?
She's 4. She just turned 4.
Okay. And you heard the stipulations that I read into the record. Those properly reflect what we agreed to, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, as far as visitation, when's the last time Mr. Walker saw Zanea?
He seen Zanea, I want to say, physically, Christmas. He seen her, what is this? So in last year. So this is, last year, end of last year.
Okay. Do you guys have any current visitation schedule in place right now for visits with her?
No.
All right. And so as far as visitation, would you be opposed with Mr. Walker having overnight visits with Zanea?
No.
Would you be opposed with the court ordering first, third, and fifth weekends if the court should order it?
What, overnight?
Overnight.
No.
Okay.
Wait. Maybe I misunderstood. Ms. Wilson, I think the first question was, do you have a problem with him visiting with the child overnight?
I do have a problem. Yes, I do have a problem with it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. And so you would not like the court to order any overnight visitation, is it?
Correct. No overnight.
And why would you not want the court to order any overnight visitations in this case?
I feel like my daughter, with her being 4 years old, she's too young. She's too little. Yeah, she is able to talk. She doesn't know Mr. Walker all that well for her to be alone by herself. She only knows me and my mother and my grandmother. I'm not there yet, and I don't feel like she's there yet, and I don't want to put that on her or rush her on spending the night without me. So I feel like she's just too young.
Okay. Has she ever spent the night with Mr. Walker without you?
Without me, no.
Okay. And so what type of visitation do you think the court should order in this case?
I don't mind him visiting her. Just no spending nights. I'm
And you
open
would,
to I'm open to anything, just no overnights.
okay, and would you be open to a phased-in type visitation, meaning some supervised visits, maybe taking her for a few hours?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, but even if he completed those, you would never want any overnight visitation?
No overnights.
Okay. Now, as far as the geographical restriction, where do you currently reside, ma'am?
In Indiana.
All right, and when did you move to Indiana, ma'am?
I moved there 2 months ago.
Okay, was this litigation in place when you moved to Indiana?
I'm sorry.
The lawsuit that we are here before now, was this had started when you moved to Indiana, ma'am?
Yeah, we had spoke on it. Yeah.
Okay, so why did you move to Indiana in the middle of litigation?
Because I needed some assistance with caring for my grandmother. I needed some assistance with my daughter as well. So it was multiple things of my movement. It wasn't just a moving to get away from him. It was a lot that carried on with me moving to Indiana. I needed help, and my grandmother needed help as well.
Okay, and so are you asking this court to not place a geographical restriction on where you reside?
I am correct.
Okay, and where are you currently right now?
Currently right now I'm in Houston because I was here for court. So I'm actually still downtown as we speak.
Okay. Do you ever go back and forth between Indiana?
Yes,
and
ma'am, I do. I travel. My mother lives in Pearland. So I still come to Texas to visit her. Yeah. The
Okay,
address that you mentioned is, yes, my family, my little brother lives there. He's 18. So yeah, I travel back and forth.
So you believe it's in the best interest of the child that no geographical restriction be placed on you because you moved to
Correct.
Indiana?
Yes, ma'am.
And just with pickup and drop off, if the court did order visitation, you would be okay with that visitation occurring where?
It can come to my apartment because that's still in my name. My brother just lives there.
Okay, so you still have an apartment here in Texas and it's in your name?
Yes, I just reside and live. I have Indiana license. I have, I'm starting to get my place there in Indiana, but I just live with my grandmother to help her out.
Okay. Nothing further for this witness, Your Honor. I pass the witness.
Mr. Walker, you have any questions of Ms. Wilson?
I do not.
All right, call your next witness. Ms. Jeffrey.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Michael Anthony Walker. Mr. Walker, you're the father of Naya Wilson. Is that correct, sir?
Yes,
All right. And how old is she, sir?
she's 4.
All right. And as far as visitation, do you remember the last time you saw your daughter?
It was the end of last year.
Okay. Have you ever had your daughter for overnight visits?
I have not. I have not.
And so in this case, what type of visitation would you ask the court to set in this case?
I want the regular customary with this. It's Dominique knows that there's no problem with me. I have children that live with me. She knows how I am. I've been with Zanaya all throughout her 4 years. We've just come to this point because when Dominique doesn't want it doesn't happen.
Objection, Your Honor. Narrative.
That's the stand. Just listen to the question, sir. I want to let you say something later on.
I apologize.
Just answer the question.
Okay.
So you would like to have her on overnight visits on the first, third, and weekends. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. And are you aware that when a party moves 100 miles or more, that the visit becomes once a month, sir? Yes or no?
I am.
Okay. And so even in this case, you still feel like the standard possession order would be appropriate in this case, correct?
I do.
All right. Now, Ms. Wilson mentioned that she recently moved to Indiana. Do you know that to be true, sir?
I do not know that to be true.
Okay. When's the last time you seen Ms. Wilson in Houston?
I saw Miss Wilson in Houston the end of last year. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have any knowledge if the apartment that she was living in is now lived in by her brother?
I do not. As far as I know, she still lives there.
Okay. Do you believe there's any truth to her saying she moved to Indiana because she needed help with her daughter? Yes or no?
I do not believe that's true.
Okay. Do you know if she's back and forth between Indiana and Houston?
I do not believe that's true.
Okay. And so in this case, would you think that the court should order a geographical restriction to Harris County?
I do.
Okay. And why do you believe the court should order a geographical restriction in this case, sir?
Can I explain it, or just how do you want? Because if not, she can continue to manipulate me with this child, how she's doing now. And without that, that's one of the reasons why I filed all of this, to stop that. Because I want to just get to know my child. That's it.
Okay. With visitation in the past, how have you gone about that? Have you asked her to see the child?
I have, and she would bring her over to me, and she would bring her to me. And yes, she did bring her to me, but she had a boyfriend. So I didn't want to just go.
Okay, but in the past, you would call her and she would bring the child to you. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
Would you be opposed to some phased in type of visitation, meaning at first you get to see her for a couple of hours by yourself, and then possibly the court could order overnight visitation?
I don't think that's fair to me.
Okay.
I'm that's my opinion. I don't think it's fair to me. I'm not. I don't know how to say it. I'm not going to cause my child any harm. I have a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old that lives with me. They know Zanea. They play with Zanea. It's
Okay.
not fair that she's trying to do it like this. This is why the address, all of this stuff is shaped so it can keep me getting what I want.
Okay. So you believe it's in the best interest of the child that the court will order a standard visitation order. Is that correct, sir? And if the court ordered overnight visits, you think you can handle Zanea and your other 2 children in the household on the weekends. Is that correct, sir?
Absolutely.
Okay. I have nothing further for this witness, Your Honor. I pass this witness.
All right, Ms. Wilson, do you have any questions for Mr. Walker?
No.
Okay. Any further witnesses, Ms. Jeffries?
No, and if I could, I'm sorry, I want to recall and I want to ask Ms. Wilson one more question if I could, Your Honor.
All right.
Ms. Wilson, do you believe that if Mr. Walker had the child overnight, he could handle her?
No.
With his... I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Are you working, Ms. Wilson?
Yes, I am.
Where do you work?
I work at the hospital, St. Joe Hospital, and I also DoorDash.
All right. Anything further, Ms. Wilson, that you want to say?
No, there's nothing further. I just don't understand what was the whole reason for this child support. Like I explained to the lady, Mr. Walker has some financial issues, and I didn't agree with this whole child support because of the fact that he could have talked to me and we could have worked something out far as him seeing her.
Okay, but we're
we're here now.
having a hearing, and you have agreed to the amount of child support and some other things that you agreed to, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You have anything further to say?
No.
Mr. Walker, anything further?
No, sir.
All right, court finds it's the best interest of the child for the father to have standard possession order, geographical restriction to Harris and contiguous counties. All other stipulations are approved. Give me an order, please.